Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Hey, here we go. The brand new 2-week-old TJ's podcast. And I've been telling you all through the thing since we've been doing it these long 2 weeks that we're going to be introducing different aspects of what's going to happen. And if you're a TJ fanatico, then you're ready for anything if you're a true fanatico. Now, make sure that you're an official fanatico by going to acetj.com/fanatico and filling out that survey. And when you fill out the survey and become an official TJ fanatico, it comes with all kinds of perks. Free things, prizes, invitations to celebrity events, personal meet and greet situations with me, possibly even Zooming with me while we watch TV together, whatever kind of thing that you would want as a rabid TJ fanatico. So acetj.com/fanaticos. So one of the new things that we're going to be doing is called TJ's People. And what that is just when someone that I find interesting or someone that I'm close to, when it hits me, I'll say, let's have that person come in and hang out and be on TJ's podcast. And that person today, for the first edition, the very first episode of TJ's People, is my friend Glenn. Hey.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Now, you go, well, why did you want Glenn to be on the show as the first person?
Yeah.
And mainly because, he's a great guy. He's got a great personality. He's fun. He's funny. He's all of that stuff. Smart, handsome. But I don't have many close friends that I could just call up and say, hey, come be on the podcast. I used to have a lot of close friends, but then they kicked us out of the friend group. That's a true story. We got kicked out of the friend group. And my wife and I were the ones that put the friend group together, but we got kicked out of it. But that's okay. That's okay. When I asked you to come do this, you said you were nervous. Are you nervous now?
Yeah. Well,
and that's why we have Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
I said, let's have Bloody Marys during this.
Tito's IV is helping.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is it spicy enough for you?
It's great. Nice mix.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure.
Glenn is the only person that has ever gotten sick from my cooking. If you cook a lot,
I had a baby.
If you cook a lot, then you always worry about that. Oh, I hope nobody gets sick. I hope I didn't undercook anything, and all that kind of stuff. And it's never happened.
Well, are you talking about the roux and the bread?
Yeah. It was
it
was gumbo. We had chicken and sausage gumbo. Yeah. Glenn and his lovely wife Jadine, well, it's Jodine, but I call her Jadine, and their daughter Ava came over for, was it a Halloween kind of get together where there was pumpkin carving and things of that nature.
Yep.
House full of people.
And a lot of people.
Yeah, and what happened is that I made the gumbo. Everybody ate it. They loved it. After we got the dishes cleared away and stuff, Glenn said, I got to go let Ruby out. And that's their dog's name.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, why you got to go let Ruby out? Ruby can stay by herself. And come to find out it was because he had to rush home because he was having diarrhea.
It's great. Yeah. Okay, it's out there.
Oh, was that not? I'm not supposed to. Right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you want me to talk about that or not. But the funny part was it was an amazing meal. I blew it because you had those rolls out.
Yeah,
and I don't
French rolls.
I have no idea what the effect was, but it definitely wasn't the quality of food or the problem with the food. It was that I ate. I think
I know
three
it
of
was
those
a you
rolls.
problem. I'm not.
No,
I'm not. I've never thought it was my fault.
No. So
I mean, you know me better than that to think that I would take responsibility for that.
But if anyone's ever had that issue where you're like, it's not happening here, and you want to race home, I live 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
I almost didn't make it five minutes away, where I think in the car I pulled over at one moment and just said, "This is happening." I'm crying. I'm yelling out.
Were you going to get out of the car, or were you going to do it in the car?
I wasn't sure. I was calling my mom. I was sweating. And then how embarrassing, right? So I think that's what I kind of came up with, figuring that Richie might figure that clue out. That
oh yeah.
So that was a good experience.
He calls me by my real name. So if you wonder what Richie
Where did Glenn
is,
go for an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. DJ
no, it's all right.
Richie.
That's fine. I mean, the people know it's
Honey.
my real name. It's yeah, it's sweetheart. But then, we recognized that he was kind of embarrassed by it, so we never mentioned it again. Going to let Ruby out has definitely not been our code for having diarrhea. It's like, oh man, Jody, I ate something today that I've been having to let Ruby out all afternoon.
Ruby for a walk.
Yeah, that's fun.
About 20 minutes.
And did I hear you telling Riggins that your wife was telling you, like, she was nervous about you coming in here, that you were going to say something that was going to embarrass her or the family?
My wife would never explain or coach me or direct me in any way. So I'm free. I have unlimited reign. I'm not the king of my domain, so yeah, there was a little nervousness on her part, I guess.
But she was nervous that we were going to be talking about politics and all, right? Because I mean, you're
passionate.
Yeah, she thinks that I'm a little controversial about some of my political views and all that. And I worry about that with the new podcast. I worry about people thinking that it's just another political show, and it's not. I mean, I don't barely even talk about anything.
Right.
I mean, I still talk about things with my opinions that are conservative based, but I'm not talking about the State of the Union and Chuck Schumer said something stupid and Biden is doing that. It's not like that. I have a show for that stuff.
Right.
But people got to pay for that. So yeah, and it's well worth it.
I'm sure.
It is well worth it.
Hell yeah.
But
I appreciate her passion, though. I think she's...
I mean, but y'all are business people in the community and all of that. And, I could see where she wouldn't want you attached to, my political rantings and things.
Yeah. When do I get to make the plug on her raps? I'm joking.
You can go ahead and do that.
Oh, they're great and comfortable.
They're called yoga wraps. Like it's like a little hoodie type thing that you wrap around you when you leave workout class or whatever. But women use them for all kinds of stuff. Ava Jane wraps is what they're called, right?
Ava Jane wraps. For the guys out there, if you have girlfriends, I highly recommend it. It's pretty sexy to watch them walking around just in that. So,
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
every time
yeah.
Your wife always puts pants on when I come over. Yeah. That's weird. She's like, "Oh, let me get my pants." I'm like, "No, don't be weird. We know each other.
Yep.
You can be Porky Pig around here, just a top and no pants. Porky Pig in it." But one of the things, though, that I admire about you is how interested you are in other people. Because I'm not most of the time. I am, but not enough to put myself out there and ask questions. And it may be because of your sales background and things like that. But you ask a lot of questions about people. To the people, not behind their backs like I do. Like, what's his, I mean, you ask, like, hey, what's going on? What do you do for a living? And here's how bad I am at that stuff. To this day, when I'm talking about you, and somebody asks me what you do for a living, you know what I say? Oh, he's a self-made businessman.
Wow.
Because I don't know the specifics of exactly what you do.
Does. Yeah.
And you get to that point where you've been in the relationship with someone for so long that if you ask, then it's roots. Like, we've known each other all this time. You don't know what I do for a living?
Right. Well, I think you've asked. You've asked for sure. I think it's, what's it been? 10 plus something years, right? So I think every time I give an answer, it's pretty vague. So
yeah, and I think it's
IT telecom consulting. I try to keep it high level. Riggins will ask, and then I go down a path of, well, these are the things we're trying to do. And then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, he's like, why did I ask? So you probably asked it the first time and said, I'm never doing that again.
So say it again.
I just consult on IT telecom.
No, IT telecom consulting.
That's it.
All right. So
help companies save money and
you sell phones.
Phones
at the phone store.
Data lines.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, the phone store. That's where I started.
I know.
That's where I started.
And what was the company that you started with back then?
AirTouch Cellular back in the 90s.
AirTouch Cellular.
Yeah. They were one of the first 2 carriers. Well,
And you just
over on
worked
the West
at the
Coast.
store selling phones.
Started at the store. Yeah. College degree to get the job. Kind of crazy to work in a retail environment. It's kind of wild.
Do they still have to have that at cell phone stores?
Nope, not anymore.
I know one thing
I'm thinking
they
about
don't.
going back, to be honest with you. I miss it.
One thing they don't have to have now to work at a cell phone store is time management. God, it takes all day if you have to go in there and deal with something. I'd rather go lease a car.
Yeah.
It'd take less time
That's
to go
bad, too.
lease a car than go
Talk
get
about
a
that
new
experience
phone.
every time. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one thing, though, that I noticed is that you will jump into a hobby faster than anybody else I know, which is good because I have no hobbies. I have no friends, no hobbies.
Hobby, you got cooking going on, and
Is that a hobby, though?
well, I think
Well, I
it's
guess it
passion. I
can
guess I
be.
call it a
Yeah.
passion.
But one day I was in the grocery store it was late Saturday morning, and I look up and Glenn is walking toward me in full camo. He looked like he'd been hanging out with the Robertsons with Duck Dynasty. I was like, when did you start? And it was in the summer. I was like, because you never know. There's
God.
always going to be something.
Oh, my gosh.
And I had no idea. And you come walking in this full camouflage outfit, and I'm thinking, is he duck hunting now? And why is he duck hunting in the summer?
That's great. That's a great memory.
And it was what? You were doing paintball wars or airsoft?
Airsoft.
Airsoft
Yeah,
wars.
yeah.
Okay. It was like they're kind of like pellet guns or something.
Yeah.
And how long were you into that?
Oh, about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And went out and got all the gear, 2 guns. I did it for a couple months, which is pretty good. It's obviously the weather can mess it up. I'm still on the texting string, so these guys every week are still going out in the winter.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I think I'm going to sleep in and do it. But it is a blast. I highly recommend it for sure. Do once or twice.
Yeah. And here's really the cute part about it. Riggins, you understand this. He looked at me and he goes, "You should really come do it with us sometime." I'm like, yeah, that sounds exactly like something that I would be into.
Well, we would just set you up in the back where you can just kind of sniper and not worry about.
I tell you, I would be happy to stay back at the camp and cook all you men breakfast. So when you came back out of the woods, you would have your breakfast waiting for you.
That's a great memory. I forgot about that.
I would do that. Okay, but there are others that I think are even funnier that you've been into. So, ladies, if you have a husband that jumps in and out of hobbies, then you'll make sure to play this segment for him because he can get a lot of ideas from Glenn. So we'll get into that coming up next.
TJ's Podcast.
We're here with our old friend, Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, you just told me something very important that you wanted me to say, but I don't remember what it was. So can you say it for me? It was something about numbers and percentages and things that I don't understand.
This is the best way for loan officers to keep the majority of the revenue that they earn every year, just like a real estate agent.
Got it.
You know, real estate agents pay what we call a cap in industry. Normally, it's around $16,000 to $20,000, and then after they pay in their commission to reach that for the company, they keep 100% of it. So we're going to do the same thing at Richard Toccato Companies. You as a loan officer are going to pay us a cap of $16,000, and everything else you keep. Everything else you earn is yours. So real quick, an example: if you make $200,000 in a year, I'm going to take $16,000 of it, and then you're going to keep $184,000. The traditional model that loan officers work on now, they do $200,000 in revenue, and they keep about $80,000 or $100,000.
Really?
So this is going to change the game. We're going to do what other real estate firms have been doing for years, but we're doing it on the mortgage broker side.
And this is something that's not being done anywhere. It's totally different.
Totally different, not being done anywhere else. We're also going to have revenue share. So if you bring loan officers to us, you're going to make money off. You're going to make money from a downline, just like EXP or Keller Williams.
Wow.
So it's you got to check it out. Just go to workwithrichard.info. It's simple. Workwithrichard.info. See if it's for you. Give me a call. Let's have a conversation.
Okay, you want me to try to say it?
Yeah, you say it.
Check it out. Workwithrichard.info.
Hi, I'm Thomas Davis, and let me tell you why I'm a proud member of Team Neogenics.
If your nagging pain is keeping you from being active, do something about it. Join the long list of pros and average Joes who have found relief with our stem cell and regenerative therapies.
After trying all the others, I decided to try Neogenics. My knees and shoulders haven't felt this good since my college days. If you want to get back in the game, do what I did. Visit Neogenics, where all you have to lose is pain.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Back to TJ's podcast.
Hey, TJ's podcast with the first edition of TJ's People. My friend Glenn is here. He's my people today. And I really do love you.
Love you too.
There aren't many people that I'll go, hey, let's see if they can hang out this weekend or they can do something with, because, people are weird.
Yeah.
It's just like but we don't see each other all the time. Mm-mm. Our wives are both always busy, and they're the ones that book the calendars and all that.
Right.
Especially Glenn's wife is always busy. Jodine, my wife laughs and she says, Jodine will say, hey, let's go to lunch. And then I'll I'll say, okay, get out your calendar. When can you go? And she'll go, I can go. I can meet you any Wednesday in August. And it'll be wintertime.
Yeah,
she's like,
she books
all the way
in advance.
All the way through that. So, yes. And then they'll put down these times to hang out, and then before they start to hang out, before the date comes, they'll go, do you want to meet for lunch, or do you want to wait and meet for dinner with the guys too? Do you ever root for? You can tell me when you're presented with that question. Do you ever say, "Y'all just do a girls thing"?
Yeah, I'm that guy that wants to stay in the cave as well. No guy wants to go out and kind of do that when they can just sit at home and relax after working, right? Mm-hmm. When it's you, I just know I'm going to go and have my stomach muscles are going to be hurting the next day because it just laughed enough. So in that environment, yes. So heck yeah, any chance I have to hang out with you, forget about it.
Yeah, which by the way is a lot of pressure. It is.
You're writing up a script. Okay, I got to hit these points.
No, it's not that. But I have different moods, and sometimes like, okay, I gotta snap out of. I'm acting like I'm a little lethargic here. Oh. And
that's normal.
I don't get to see Glenn very often, and so I got to make it worth his while. The whole thing. But on with your other hobbies. There was one that you had that I still don't understand what all was going on. But were you taking your wife's luxury car off on the weekends and drag racing it?
Yeah. Just the one time.
Oh, I thought you were doing.
I won 3 out of 4 races, and I did my job. Yeah.
By the way, honey, I'm going to need your car Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go drag race it.
Yeah. It was.
When talking about it, it's. A really nice family car, and you're taking it to the dragway.
Yeah.
How did that even come about?
We have friends, the Masons.
Yeah.
That I obviously hung out with, and they came from California, and they race cars all the time, and so they moved out here in 1 week. They basically found the nearest racetrack, which I don't even know what it was. It wasn't a quarter mile. It's a little bit shorter than that. And they said, hey, we're going to go out there. And now, of course, he brings out his Camaro that's set and ready to race. But they brought out their Escalade as well. And the mom races that sucker in the stretch. So then I'm like, well, we just got this brand new car, so why wouldn't I take it? The funny part was you show up and you've got guys next to you, they're lining up, and they're coming up going to you, what do you got under there? I don't know. It came with the car when I bought it. It's got a 100,000-mile warranty. That's all I cared about. Like, sure. I said, yes, I'm not lying to you. And they've got, the Mustang or whatever, all souped up. And it was a blast. The hard part for me was that you had to wear the helmet in the car, which I didn't know you had to do just going on a straightaway like that, but you do. And so that felt kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. Yeah. Guys coached me on how to do it.
So you're wearing a big helmet. And
on this.
And you're tall, so
on this massive.
Sure it was hitting the roof.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
But it was a blast.
So, you know what they call that in the drag racing world, right?
No.
Run what you brung.
Okay.
Meaning whatever you drove here in, that's what you can
There
race.
you go. Yeah. If you ever want to do it, let's go hit it. They've got a picture of it up on the wall because it did so well. So.
And you did win the races that you were in?
I beat 3 guys because whatever. Yeah, I think, I don't know what kind of cars they had, but something went wrong with them. And then I lost to Dan Mason.
Okay.
Well, not Dan
But
Mason, sorry. But the Camaro just beat me in the last second there. So.
I mean, that's
the
what
Camaro.
Yeah. Rich rednecks, man. That's what you call it.
Yeah, racing an Escalade. I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, did your wife know that that's what you were doing with her car?
I don't know.
Her brand new car?
Probably. I have no idea. I may have snuck that one by her.
Yeah.
Too late.
Because it wasn't like
it's the Mason, so it's okay. Like that's they're an approved family, so I was allowed to race with them.
But you know how Jody is. If I went and said, "Hey, while you were sick and on bed rest, I took your car to work one day," she would go, "Why don't you take my car? What's wrong with your truck? Why were you in my car?" Like, she's so territorial
right. Oh, yeah.
about everything.
Yeah.
There's no way I could take her car and her not know it, one. And if she did know why I was taking it, there's no way she would. And you're not doing that with my car.
Right. Yeah.
So that's
I
why
can
you
see
didn't
that.
tell your wife what you
Pretty
were doing
much.
with it.
I don't think she even knew what was happening. So
Yeah.
yeah. But she did get the car, so it's in great shape still. It's good to go.
Okay, so it didn't mess it up. It didn't hurt the transmission or anything. Because that can be rough on a
Everything's
car.
Great. No, it's good because it set the seals. Supposedly, it does stuff like that. I guess I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. They didn't have seals, but look, what's funny about what you're saying is that whenever I get into the car and I drive down our street, McKendree and all of that, there's deer everywre, which you obviously know about.
You want to just go ahead and give out your address to the world?
So we're out there in McKendree. I can drive around and look for my car. Where is that guy with the helmet? But you get in the car and it's like 2 minutes. Now it's gotten to the point where before we even get in the car, she's like, "You're going to go slow, right? There's deer out there." Yeah. Every time. So I find it funny that, I was able to at least take that car over 60 miles an hour finally, because I'm not allowed to drive that fast any other time.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that the farthest you ever drive is to my house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're an hour
we
behind
moved,
us.
we moved a
I have to
little
set
bit
my
out,
clock.
kind of out in the country, and you would think, well,
That's a scary ride.
His wife even said, "Hey, we're heading to Virginia to." We live in North Carolina.
Right, yes, we have to plan that trip. We bring extra water in the car,
It's probably,
blanket.
What is it? 15 minutes from y'all's house to mine?
Probably,
Or 20?
I guess. Feels about longer, but
Yeah.
we get there. It's a beautiful drive. It's great.
Mm-hmm. But when we moved out there, everybody acts like that we live in Afghanistan. They're like, my little friend Jenny says, we got to drive to Afghanistan.
Right.
She's like, "Can boy take us home? Because it's going to be late." Okay.
Yeah.
And he can just spend the night here.
Yeah.
And not make that trip again.
I would love to stay the weekend.
Well, I mean, I
Have
told you.
make brunch.
That's what we need to do. Those women don't go on enough girls' trips anymore.
Right.
So when they go, and we'll
rage.
Yeah, we'll have I say,
go to bed by 10.
That's what I was gonna say. We got to rage and then be in the bed at 10. Up the next morning, eating breakfast, party.
I'll bring the airsoft gun.
Yeah.
Shoot those foxes by your house.
No, don't say that. The fox lady and her family listen to stuff, and
I bet. We would never shoot a fox.
No, they wouldn't. They're from California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Save them.
How like you and your wife didn't grow up together? Y'all are both from the same kind of area of the country, but y'all didn't meet each other until you were grown.
I'll have to college.
Yeah.
Yep.
She went to college.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You can't let them get educated.
Yep.
They start thinking they know as much as you.
Yeah. She's a smarty.
Yeah, I knew that. See, like I never have to worry about that with my wife. She'll never be as smart as I am, and she knows it. Bless her heart.
I'm sure she does.
Mm-hmm. Which I guess is a sign of intelligence in and of itself.
Sure.
She knows, she can recognize that she'll never be on my level.
I'm glad she figured that out early on.
These are real Bloody Marys. People may think we're doing it as props.
Yeah,
we're drinking
my
them.
throat's burning.
Is it too? It's too hot.
You put a little floater on there. No, I'm joking. It's from the vodka.
Floater, as in turd.
Yeah, as Ruby.
Okay, well, since you brought up Ruby again, your dog. Jody told me that Ruby had been sick, and then I didn't quite understand the whole. Because Jody said, I mean, she's okay right now, but they're still thinking they have to put her down. I'm going, well, you don't put a dog down that's okay. What?
It's a very awkward, and I'll try to keep it short because you can go on for this one. But she's 14 years old now, and it's a Shih Tzu, and only what I've been told is they should live up to like 12. So she's 2 years beyond what supposedly they're supposed to be at, and she's in great shape. Yeah, I take her walking all the time, and she's fine. But over the last 3 years, right when COVID started, I'm working out of the house, and she would sit next to me in the office and just coughing all the time. And to where I'm on Zoom calls, and guys are like, "What is that behind? What's that sound? What's dying behind you?" And so we took her in, and they said it's a enlarged heart, and it causes an issue, and so she coughs. So that's basically it. But when she's coughing for 10 minutes straight, you just start to feel really bad.
Yeah.
But then she stops for a day. She's out running. She's eating just fine. So it got to that point of all night long coughing, the next night not. So we were in this dilemma of what do we do? Are we torturing her? We went to the doctor many times. Medications we're giving her. So we bring her in. We decided we book a time, like
because the doctor recommended.
Doctor did not recommend it, right? The doctor I guess they can't really. They just said that's your decision. They just said if you feel that's what you want to do, then you can do that. Right.
So she's only going to get worse, and
potentially, right? She's not going to get any better. Basically, the medication will help a little bit. So the ironic, or the part that saved our dog, we're in there, and the whole time as I drive there, going there, I'm questioning this whole thing. I'm like, are we really doing this? Are we being selfish? She live another couple years, or again, is it torturing her potentially? And she just she'll be just going to sleep. We get in there, and they have the nurse come in. She's talking to us. I'm crying. Joe's crying a little bit. And then I stand up. I stand up in this little room, and now I'm pacing in circles. And I think the nurse walked out at that moment. She goes, you figure out what you want to do, because now I'm questioning. And then Joe brings up the fact of what you had to do with your dog, and how you guys spent quite a bit of money to save your dog to live a little bit longer, even knowing maybe that was all that was going to be. So of course I lose it hearing that story, and I'm thinking of you, and I'm like, they did something like that, and I'm sitting here with a dog that coughs, half the time during the day and maybe a little bit of pain, but goes on a walk with me is completely normal. I'm a jerk. So I go, we're out. We're not going. It was because of you and your wife. In that moment, I'm like, what a jerk.
But I wish you would have called me.
Right. Oh my God.
That was one of it was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to deal with.
Imagine.
Because regardless of the way people think and kind of how I play it up on the show and everything, just poking at people, I loved that dog. I mean, I really did. And my kids loved it. It was the only dog they'd ever had.
Right.
And we were on vacation. We were in Florida when the place that we had left him for the week, the kennel place, said, he's not acting right. We're going to take him to the vet because he's not himself. And they took him to the vet, and then it was, they figured out he had cancer and the whole thing. Well, we're on vacation trying to keep this news from our kids. Right. And we just said, go ahead and do what you got to do. They said, we can, with your permission, first step is to remove his spleen, and then he'll be fine. He'll act normal, but we're looking at maybe 3 months after the surgery and all this stuff, 3, possibly 4 or 5. That's about it. But he'll be fine until the day. And then the day is when you'll know this is going to be his last day. So I think it was about $5,000 or more that we spent on that, and it went exactly the way they said it would go.
Right.
It was like 3 months almost to the day, and I'm the one that had to take him in for it, and the kids got checked out of school early because we had to tell them what was going on. So when they came home, what was going to happen, they need to come home and say goodbye to him because I was about to take him. And that was heart-wrenching. And we go through all of that. I was just a blithering fool.
Mm-hmm.
Left him there, had to wait in the car for a while so I could see the road. But got home, the kids were still crying and sad, and I guess it was about, a year later, we're talking to our daughter, and she's talking about how she misses Dutch and all this stuff, and she goes, but you know what, Aiden and I were talking, and we wish that we would have put him down before, making him, live those months knowing that he was going to die at any time. It would have been better if we would have just, when we got back from vacation, when y'all told us he was sick, you would have just said Dutch died while we were on vacation.
Right.
And I'm saying, you little bastards.
Right. It's easy to look back and say something like that, and
because they would. And Lainey, she's a deep thinker and all that, and both of my kids are, but she talks about it more than he does.
Sure.
And she goes, because every day when I would wake up, I would see him, and before I would go to school, I would think, is he going to die today? And that's hard. That's hard to do. Plus $5,000.
Right. It's crazy the amount of money we've spent. Nothing like that at this point, but
yeah. So
it's a tough one. What do you? It's normal for you to think that way.
Think about poor Ruby though. She's already got it. And it's kind of like, getting a stay of execution.
Scared her straight. She's scared straight. She hasn't coughed since.
Strapped down to the gurney. They're coming in with the injection. And you're like, no.
Not the blue pill.
The governor said, not today. The governor called.
Yeah.
And
I
said,
think
not
that's what's
today.
happened. She's been kind of like, hey, guys, really energetic. Can I make you breakfast?
Yes.
I'm like, come on, they got it. You don't have to make me food.
She's muffling that cough. She's like,
She goes outside.
she's like burying her face in a pillow.
No cigarette cougher thing.
She said, I can't cough by his desk anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I know what's on his mind. If she does cough, she's like, choking on a kibble went down the wrong way. The food. It was spicy. That's all.
Oh my God.
It's not a sick cough. It's a choking cough.
It's COVID.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Yes.
We've all got it.
I knew y'all should have had me vaxxed.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all vaxxing each other. Y'all should have vaxxed me.
Oh, that's great.
God.
Yeah, brutal.
But in that moment, though, did you think that less than a week later you'd be laughing about it? See, that's what I do. That's how I help people. I'm not a doctor, but that's how I help.
Right, for sure.
So now you got
good.
Now you got a better attitude to go get it done.
Yeah, thanks. I'll just start laughing.
So
oh my gosh.
it was because of my wife and me that you didn't go through with it. Now I've given you the ability to go through with it. All right.
And now I guess that Ava's going to come to me in a couple months saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, it's their daughter. She's off at college.
Yeah.
And
by the way, that is a thing. We did tell her that was going to happen because Joe's very scheduled. So she's we have to tell Ava before we do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So we tell her, and she of course breaks down and cries on the phone while we're with her before she's going to take like some exam. And then the next day we're telling her, "Oh, we passed on that." Like,
so did you call her and go, "Hey,
everything's
we've got
great.
some great news.
Everything's great." So now she's going to wait every day to hear her call.
Yeah.
So I got to remember that.
Again, before you make any decisions about anything from now on, just call me.
Got it.
I can help with all of them.
Perfect.
All right, we got more coming up with TJ's people. My friend Glenn is here and doing a great job.
Thank you.
You need a refill? We'll do that during the break. Okay?
Sounds good.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up. When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
If you're so frustrated because you're having to run around all the time, you're so busy, you feel like you're not getting your family something great to eat, then you need Culver's. It's the perfect thing for you. Always made to order, fresh, hot ingredients all day, every day.
And not only do they have the freshest ingredients all day, every day, but they are a part of the community. They're proud to be a part of the Indian Trail community, where they're under new ownership. Belmont, University area, Salisbury. Make them a part of your daily routine. Make it your new neighborhood spot. Short waits for the freshest food in town. Get details at acetj.com/Culver's.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
So my friend Glenn is here for today's edition of TJ's People. This is fun. I mean, I don't know whether people are like listening to it or liking the deal, but I am. It's enjoyable.
I think they're going to find enjoyment in you torturing me on some of these stories. I'm very happy.
Are y'all going on vacation tomorrow? You leave tomorrow for
Amelia
vacation?
Island.
Oh yeah.
Well, and here's the address.
Yeah, I was going to say, what room number? What's your Airbnb number? What is that?
We'll have beach chairs out. Yeah, you can steal them.
And there's something that I have to tell young people all the time, because in my business I'm around young people all the time, and they laugh at things that that Ace and I have to do at our age. Like, we have to get blood tests all the time. When you get older, you got to go get gotta get the blood tests with your annual physical, and maybe every 6 months or whatever. But one of the things that that you're a friend with somebody who understands you, when you can share glasses at a restaurant with them. And you and I do that. We've shared glasses to be able to read the menu. Yep. Like, I'll have the da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, well, let me get his glasses, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to have. Right. Even in that terrible experience we had the last time we went out to eat together.
Oh my gosh!
The restaurant was brand new, and how long were we in there, and we still didn't get our food?
It's Burger King, isn't it? Was that the one?
Yeah.
We were
2.5 hours.
You're not allowed to say the name of it either,
don't
right?
Do that.
But I guarantee everything is obviously improved thanks to the feedback we provided at the time. Like, you've done really well on the water services. That's great. And your bread, we can talk about that. But yeah.
And it was like 2.5 hours. We hadn't gotten the food yet, and the one thing that
was weird
is
to wait that long.
You would think that in most restaurants, even if the food is slow, they're coming with the drinks.
Yeah,
but this place wasn't.
They were missing a lot of revenue.
And then at one point, I needed the server for something, and she was across the room talking, and I went, "Excuse me," and I put my hand up, and she gives me this. She looks at me, and then throws the finger up, like, "Wait a minute," and then keeps talking to the other people that she's laughing and talking with this other servers, like, "Okay, just a minute."
Yeah,
just a minute. I'll be with you.
Yeah. I think you were one of. I think there was like 4 of us trying to get her attention.
Yeah,
that was pure management issue. I'm sure you've worked in the industry. Recommend everyone works in the restaurant industry, but that's the only reason I'm allowed to even have a problem with what was going on. It's just I feel bad for her. She was put in a situation that
she wasn't.
Her manager was like
equipped
gone. Yeah,
yeah. But another thing that has been on our conversation list lately is the shingles vaccine.
Okay.
We're at the age for the shingles vaccine. Now, I haven't had it yet, even though it's been recommended by many people. You don't do well with some of those things, do you, as far as your reaction, like to the COVID vaccine and the shingles vaccine and all that? Didn't that
these notes?
I just know, you know,
The wives?
No, you know, I got a photographic memory. I remember these things. But didn't the shingles, the
I guess I
second
shared
one,
that story. Yes, the second
No,
one.
you
knocked
did.
me
You were
out.
at my
I'm
house.
sure I shared
Yeah.
it with you and cried.
Yeah,
Yes.
the second shingle shot. 'Cause
It was
how far
the
apart
worst.
are they?
I don't know. Like I think you wait 2 months or 3 months or something.
So you get the first one. It doesn't matter.
First one was great.
It's not going to hurt. But the second one puts you down.
Second one, it was the craziest thing. I think I slept in 3 different beds. Like I couldn't walk to another area. Like I would just be down there. I went to get some crackers and I was down. And then it was scary. It was weird. Of course, the wife's like, "You're just doing this so you don't have to work," or something. Like, no, I'm not. And I would just be asleep for 6 hours straight, and then maybe get up and then go to the other room and sleep. So, yeah, I've had bad flus and things like that. This was crazy.
Now she had it. Did she have the vaccine?
She did, and I think she
didn't bother her.
And then she pointed it out to me. She's like, "I'm cooking dinner and everything on my second shot." Great.
Didn't you have a bad reaction to one of the COVID vaccines too? I mean, didn't one of the COVID vaccines like give you a tumor or something?
I lost a limb. No, I don't. I don't know how you have these notes. This is
I don't
great.
have any notes. It's just
Okay, good memory.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I can't.
Yeah, I think one of them.
Good.
You know, beat the
Took
shit
me
out
out.
of you. I mean,
Perfect.
yeah. It's like, whew.
Nothing like that shingles thing though. That was weird.
See, and now you made me not want to go do it, but I have people in my family that suffered from the shingles back before there was a vaccine, and they say that is one of the hardest pains to deal with. Yeah. And I don't mind because I don't know if my mama will want me saying this, but she got it in the shingles in an area that was, you couldn't see it. Put it that way.
Okay.
It was on her butt.
Oh.
And so did my grandfather. So then I grew up thinking that shingles only come to you on your ass.
Right.
It's like, and again, how gross does a child think that is called shingles? Like on your house, you got shingles, and then your ass got shingles. So
That's visual.
It's just like I just picture this scaly rough, which you're not supposed to like picture your mom's ass in any condition. But if it's got shingles on it, and you'd say, I never want that. Oh, God, I hope I never get that. Papa's got shingles on his ass, too. I don't want that. But then you come to find out that it can come onto your face. You can get it it will close your eyes up and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's not just
not
just an ass thing.
Right. Okay, good. The visual of the eyes is a little bit better, I guess, than the ass.
No, it's worse
shingle.
to me. I'd rather have shingle ass than shingle face.
Right. Oh my gosh. I just heard about that speaking of that, where I guess women are going in and getting their butts.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a great thing for shingles. Maybe you already have that, like that house part built on. Like,
so it doesn't go.
You don't have to go and get
painful
that
part.
done.
Yeah.
Whatever, Brazilian
so
butt.
You got your house.
Bubble butt.
And then the shingles would just go.
That's a great visual.
It would complement.
So are you saying you're going to go in then, or are you still contemplating?
I need to, but then again, you had me scared about it. But then I got to thinking one day, I was like, he's just he's just more susceptible to the side effects of these things, I guess, because I remember other cases.
Yeah.
Where but I don't want the shingles.
Right.
But then again, you got to make an appointment. You got to go down there.
Well, you have to drive a long way. Well, I get that.
Actually, I don't. My doctor's office is right across the street from here.
Oh, good. You could time it. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
But
Well,
these are those types of conversations that you go, oh my God, I've turned into my parents.
Right. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Young people don't think about shingles.
No.
You know what else young people don't ever need? A toothpick. You ever notice that? Young people don't ever have toothpicks in their mouth.
You don't see that. And you only see like Kevin Bacon maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or when you leave a restaurant, you're like, damn, I didn't have any toothpicks, because you used to laugh at your dad always having to roll that little thing out when they were paying the tab at the counter.
It was mint flavored sometimes.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
And you go, why does Daddy always got to have a toothpick?
Yeah,
my dad would have them up in his sun visor, and it's because when you age, your teeth separate, they spread.
Right.
Your teeth shift.
Yeah.
So that's why young people don't ever get anything caught between their teeth.
You're right.
And we're always, it drives me so crazy. I've done like the most disgusting thing where I'll just take the straw that's in my water and
figure it out.
Try to like sneak like I'm like nobody's watching.
MacGyver it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done it.
And I pull
Joe
out
and I
like
are
a
like, we
turkey
got to start
leg.
bringing floss. I'm trying to figure out to create some like a little. They already have them, but just to have a little packet thing that you can just kind of pull out and use the floss.
Yeah.
I don't like that stick thing with the floss string on it, but anyway, that's funny you bring that up because I feel like I'm dealing with it every day.
Jody's uncle carries one of those flosser things in his wallet.
Yeah.
And
Smart man.
right. But he doesn't put a new one in there every day.
Okay. Well,
So he can have
Like
one.
beef?
It's like I only had that one place that I had to get the food unstuck.
a little
It's not like
teriyaki on it.
Yeah, it's not like I flossed all of my teeth after a week of eating popcorn.
Right.
Or,
I think they're good because they have that sharp edge on the back of it as well for self-defense too. I mean, so
Exactly.
both ways. Mm-hmm. Safety and teeth cleaning.
But yeah,
Interesting you bring that one up. That's great.
because I mean I always notice that. Well, since the older I get, the more I need a tooth. Like I have to have toothpicks.
Yeah.
In reach.
Yeah.
All the time.
We're going on a trip, so you're just reminding me I got to get that loaded up for the truck.
Oh,
Be set.
I mean, can you see what I carry around with me all the time now? Let me see if
God.
I have it. I say it.
A Glock.
Well, yeah, I've got that all the
Yeah.
time. But this, Tony Sachery's individual packets. So when I go to restaurants, I can put. Oh wait, I got it upside down. I can put the Cajun seasoning on whatever food I get.
Oh yeah.
Now, if that's
That's
not
a
an old man
must-have.
thing,
I love it. Put that on everything.
Yeah.
Should dump that into this.
that
It's
has
already in there.
Yes,
Perfect.
It does have some of it in there. The Bloody Marys, yeah.
All right. Where are you buying that, by the way? Is that just at the store? Now now I got something in my teeth.
Well, I have some of those things in my bag. You can order these from their website.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My little friend Jenny got them for me for my birthday. Because she wakes up in the middle of the night and just starts ordering shit.
Yeah.
She can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Just like,
So am I allowed to bring up a memory or not?
Yeah,
It's
sure,
just like
yeah.
a one-sided. No, I think one of the best times I had with you, speaking of beaches, was down at, I think it was Hilton Head, I
Yeah.
believe, where you and I were able to go down, obviously with the water coming in and out, we would go down and put our feet in. Of course, we had our cooler, and then we had our umbrella, and we put it in there, and we're down like in the water. So kids are playing around us, we don't care. And then it felt like every hour you and I would look at each other going, okay, well, we've had our drinks, by the way, so we're feeling pretty good. And then it's, well, we got to move back 6 feet. So we just kind of moved back with the tide over like a, 6-hour period. I always thought that was hilarious because people were like, okay, they're moving again, readjusting. Anyway,
it's my favorite.
not
I
that's
love that.
Yeah,
Love
it
that.
was a good, goofy time.
And that's the time I saved your life.
I think so. Jellyfish sting or
No.
peed on me? Which one was it?
I kept you from being impaled, remember?
Oh, that's right. You caught the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Jedi stuff. I looked to the right. This wind pulled. The spike was going right at it. And you're just. See,
Yeah. We were talking
did.
under the umbrella and the wind caught it.
the dog.
And I'm
the
like,
dog
Glenn
and I
was on
owe
the-
you.
Glenn was on the left and I'm on the right, turned this way.
Yep.
And the thing got picked up by the wind and the spike part of it was heading right at his face. And he's, he doesn't see it because he's all full of himself talking. And so I did this. And it looked like a ninja movie. where
I saw
stopped
it.
right here.
I saw it.
And then I just grabbed, and I'm trying to hold it
Yeah.
because it's being
It's
taken
still
by the
being
wind.
being blown, and you're still having to hold it.
But I'm such a great conversationalist. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I'm holding it. It's about
Tell
to
me
break
more.
my arm.
Tell me more. Let me tell you more about what you should do with Ruby. Hold on.
And you go, holy shit. You just caught guys.
You just caught that with chopsticks. What? Should I make us another drink? Yes.
You were almost
We
like-
deserve another
you were-
drink.
Yeah, you were almost like, the vacation's on me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great.
I've saved several people's lives.
Yeah.
And everybody acts like I'm being silly when I say that, but I'm not.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I saved a guy's life one time. He was tripping on bath salts.
Okay.
You know where the Palm is? Of course you do.
The Palm Restaurant or what? Yeah.
Yeah. And I looked up, and it was when those bath salts were popular, and the traffic was stopped, and I looked out the window in the bar area, and this guy, college age looking guy, is in his underwear running, going crazy, trying to jump in people's cars and all. And I jumped up and ran out there to see what was going on, because he was terrorizing people who were just trying to get where they were going. And what had happened was he was in his underwear, and he had a wreck up on the road, and instead of staying there and all, he ran into somebody. He just fled. He was down there out of his head. And I subdued him, talked to him, made friends with him, kind of counseled him, because he, found out he was on all that dope.
Wow. Okay.
And held him
I
until
remember
the
that
cops
story.
got there.
Yeah.
Because he was about to get run over. He's running out in traffic and all kinds of stuff. Then there was that one time somebody had a seizure right there in front of me at what's the amphitheater called? The big amphitheater, whatever.
Here, over down in Charlotte?
Yeah, over by the racetrack.
I have no idea. I'm thinking of Sleep Train, which is Northern California.
Yeah. But anyway, somebody had a seizure there, and I had to jump into action, keep them from swallowing their tongue. No, I didn't.
I wonder if you have some kind of, that's interesting. You're Ruby, me, salt guy.
Bath salts guy.
Pantless, and then seizure guy at, who was playing?
A woman. It was a woman.
Seizure woman.
Yeah, I don't even remember the concert.
Snoop.
Cubby was with me, though. I remember that. It was the two of us, so it must have been like Trisha Yearwood or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a heavy burden.
Yeah. Well,
but some of us we have to be superheroes. We have to be superheroes.
You're 4-0.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
thank you for.
Did you do anything that is going to embarrass your wife, or y'all going to have to move or anything? Because
I will be questioning her a little bit to find out if she had sent like notes over to Jody. I'm joking, by the way. I know these are things that you and I had talked about, and thank you for those bringing up some of those great memories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're going to go home and go, did I get sick from one of the COVID shots? Yes, Glenn.
When did I get that?
Don't you remember?
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Well, I love you. You know that.
Love you, brother.
Always. And thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing it. You're great.
This is awesome.
All right.
Keep on keeping on.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Love you. Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.